Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of Hollywood After Dark. Tonight is July 28th, 2022, and I just have a simple, easy question to ask you. Is Ben Affleck back? Am I going to have to take a massive L? That's entirely possible. We're going to be talking about that, Alan Horn, Tomb Raider, Spider-Man freshman year, and a whole lot more here tonight, Hollywood After Dark, folks. As always, let's fucking go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? Welcome to the party. Welcome to the show. It's another day, another night here talking about movies, Hollywood entertainment, and anything else that generally tends to come up. If you happen to be a new viewer of Hollywood After Dark, we've been getting a number of them recently. The numbers have been growing, which is very great. You guys can head over to check out the archive, youtube.com/Hollywood After Dark. If you like it, if you like the show and you want to support it, check out Hollywood After Dark Premium. That is not only the YouTube channel membership, but also Patreon, which I'm going to be relaunching here in the next coming days with new tiers and new perks and things like that. Because this is something I really want to start really pushing to be a big thing for the rest of 2022 and beyond. And obviously, your guys' support is absolutely loved. And thank you all so much for your help. I really do appreciate that. One of the things we're going to be doing is adding in watch parties for the movies. We're going to be doing probably either like Netflix watch parties or what's free on YouTube. So then anyone can watch it, but you'll have to be a member in order to join the parties. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And then, of course, obviously more reviews are coming from me. And then I've been trying to figure out how to merge back in with Patio commentary, dive back into what I love doing, which is dissecting film and not necessarily dealing with the drama. Because honestly, guys, the drama is just really effing stupid. You know what I mean? And there has been a lot of it recently. Honestly, last night was a big thing. I just want to quickly bring this up here. If you guys don't know what happened last night, there was a massive stream over on HWAD Writer's channel, kind of like a clear the air sort of thing in regards to like us over here at Hollywood After Dark and other people like Mad Max and RJ and things like that. Kind of having this, like having it out, if you will, with Zod and those guys. And at the end of it, it was meant to be this kind of like, like cathartic coming together, this let's set down our arms, let's set down our torches and pitchforks, let's sing Kumbaya and all jerk each other off to Zack Snyder's Justice League's future. We can all come together, come united, whatever the fuck. It's all bullshit is basically what it boils down to. That's my take on it. I know friends of mine are going to be doing their own thing. I'm going to be doing my own thing, but I'm not going to sit there and lie to you guys. 100%. What that whole thing was they just want to be left to do their thing, which is to lie, obfuscate, grift people into joining their cult, as well as smear anyone that they don't like as very horrible things, as I pointed out last night directly to Zod, and then his him being mad at me for things I've said, but totally looking the other direction when people in his community are doing it as well. And even this morning, waking up to more of that shit from an actual troll who he tried to defend as a troll. So the way I see it, quite frankly, is fuck them. Fuck them all. I don't care. I don't want to be drug into this shit anymore. I really don't. I'm tired of it. It's annoying. It's frustrating. They're liars. They defame people. They slander people. And they do it because of an echo chamber. And I'm their primary target because a person who was formerly my friend allowed them to turn me into the villain because I was like, I don't think the Snyderverse is going to continue. That's really what it boiled down to. And yes, Mikey Sutton of GeekosityMag.com, I'm talking to you. That's what happened. So that's the reason why they come at me like that. And fine, whatever, man, whatever. Okay. But I'm not going to put up with that shit anymore. I'm not going to deal with that shit anymore. I don't want it brought into my DMs. I don't want it fucking brought to my attention. I don't watch these people. I don't want to be fucking associated with these people. I want to move the fuck on. And that's simply it. That's simply it right there. I was ready today to just cancel everything, to like completely kill this channel and just go a completely other different direction. I'm just tired of it. I just want to talk about movies And it's always getting drug into the drama, right? It is. Every time I try to get away from it, it always gets brought to my attention. And you know what? Because I dislike these people and I have anger issues of my own, I dive into it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like people to lie, and I'm going to call it out. So it's like easy to fall into that trap. And my own friends have sent me information that, like, I've repeatedly said, please don't, like, you know, stop doing it. And it's easy to get sucked into the drama and into the nonsense. And that's really what it dives into. All right. And I'm just done with it. I don't want to fucking deal with this shit anymore. I don't want to deal with petty interpersonal bullshit. I don't care. I don't care if you like somebody or don't like somebody that I like or don't like or whatever. I really don't. I'm tired of it. I'm tired. As much as I love Max stirs the flames as much as everybody else by bringing it up and they're like, well, what do you think about this? Stop doing it. And that's on me to stop going on. So I'm just not. I'm rolling solo for a while. I'm going to be solo on the channel for a while, depending on the topics. All right. Like, I exited my own private DM group today. I don't want nothing to do with this shit because it's not going to change no matter what bullshit they fucking said last night. It's not going to fucking change because they're liars and they grifted a whole bunch of people last night who simply do want peace. But it was a pathetic display on my end. And I even my end going into fight, it was pathetic on my end to even do it. And it was even more pathetic to watch played out at the end of that shit. So there you go. Like, I don't want to deal with this shit. Yeah, I know drama gets used. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. There's other things you can do. There's other things you can do. No, I'm not bringing on RJ or Saggy or Caden for a while. So, yeah, RJ. I mean, look, everybody. It's everybody. I'm just going to go solo for a little bit. Nothing against everybody. But I'm just tired of this shit. They want to go deal with that. They can go deal with that. I'm not going to fucking do it. 2 weeks is a fine break, Shogun. 2 weeks is a fine break. I just need a fucking break. That's how it boils down to. It's just, I need a break. So that is that right there. That's what I wanted to talk about. That's literally just addressing the drama. I don't want to bring it up again. As I keep saying, this is ridiculous. Even today, I woke up with a lot of fucking emails from people, a lot of messages over, not even related to the big news of the afternoon, but just other stuff. And I'm just like, it ain't what I'm into. It just ain't what I'm into. And I'm just fucking tired of it, is really what it boils down to. So why don't we move on to something better? Why don't we talk about something that looks really fucking cool? Prey. They've been showing this movie off quite a bit recently. Obviously, Comic-Con had a big screening. There have been a lot of reviewers who've been able to watch it. There are people who've been given access to it. I think you can watch it up to about 5 times on Hulu, right? You can watch it 5 times on Hulu. There are people that are like, I've watched it all 5 times. I can't wait to watch it again. It's the best Predator movie since the first one. It's more in line with what the writers wanted to do for Predator 3. It feels like an actual, like, prequel to Predator. All of these things. I mean, like, look, let's take a look here at the trailer. Just this movie opens up like just next week, right? And I'm like, I'm just gonna say, I'm kind of upset because Disney is not putting this in at least a limited release in theaters. Like, this is one that I would pay money to go see. Like, I think the hype is real, and to have it only be on Hulu just feels like such a fucking like, it's so weird to say. So let's check this out.
Why do you want to hunt? Because you all think that I can't. I saw a sign in the sky. I'm ready. Maui, Nita.
Oh, that's fucking sick.
There's something out there. I'm coming with you.
You can't.
I'm trying to protect you.
Protect me from what? It's time.
It knows how to hunt. I know how to survive. Whatever did this, I can kill it.
Holy shit. Okay, so like, look, not only is that a well-crafted trailer, I mean, like, I grew up watching Predator. I remember when I was told by my parents, like, you can't watch Predator. You are too young. And then I went to my cousin's house and we watched Predator. And then they found out and I got grounded for a week because I watched Predator. And you know what I said? Worth it. 100% worth it. I fucking love Predator. This goddamn series is amazing. And I haven't seen The Predator from 2018. Everyone tells me it's shit. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to try to watch it this week. I'll try to watch it this week leading into this. But Predators was a solidly underrated movie. And this one looks like it's going to be a massively, massively kick-ass film. The Disney, like, I get why they're dropping this on Hulu. I understand why they're dropping this on Hulu. It makes all the sense in the world why they want to build up that 20th century brand on Hulu. That's why they spent the $70 billion. This should be in theaters. This should be in theaters. Horror fans, cult horror fans, will show up for shit, right? Now, I mean, look, it could bomb. I don't know. I'd like to think that it wouldn't bomb. But then again, like the last couple entries of, 2010, 2018, now have not necessarily done great. But then again, it's like they had AVP Requiem 2004, 2007, I believe. So I get the reason why these things aren't happening the way that they want them to. But man, I don't know, man. This feels like it's a total like just turnaround on this shit, right? I'm excited, and I agree with Ryan. It should totally be in theaters, 100%. McLeod here says it's so weird to actually feel excited for a Predator film again. I'll be watching this with the full Comanche dub. You know what? I want to watch that in the full Comanche dub as well. That is actually a really cool thing in regards to like not only it's not necessarily. I mean, look, it is accessibility. Let's be fair. It's 100% accessibility, which is pretty badass. However, it's also like really immersive. You know what I mean? Like one of the things I loved about Apocalypto, you never would suspect that Mel Gibson would direct a movie about like a whole bunch of, like a Mayan tribe, right? That ends up, getting raided by other tribes. I think I forget the exact specification, Mayan or Incan, I forget which. It's been a long time. 16 years almost. But the whole movie is in their native language, and you have to read it, and it's just a compelling-ass movie. So it's obviously that thing where you're like, okay then, like 100%, that's like, yeah, that's fucking cool. People will dive in if it's a good film. Goober here says, I would definitely go see this in the theater with my brother, 100%. Reed here says, I would show up for a Back to the Future trilogy screening. Hell yeah, dude. I actually got to see an original 35 millimeter print of Back to the Future, which is pretty dope. That was a long time ago, but I'm definitely all for that. All right. Lord Slug here says Predators was great. It definitely was, man. I like the movie. I think we need more of it. Totally down for that. Cosmic here says, I don't know what Chapek is doing. So Chapek, this is where, again, when we get to the Alan Horn section, it's going to be totally different. We'll be talking, the Alan Horn thing is going to be crazy, but it is kind of true. Chapek doesn't really know, I think, how to run a movie studio. I don't think he knows how to like, ingratiate brands with consumers that aren't going to spend a small fucking fortune to go to his goddamn theme parks. You know what I mean? Like, look at the cost of Galactic Star Cruiser. Like, once I learned the cost of Galactic Star Cruiser, it just killed my boner for it. I was like all jazzed to try to figure it out. I would go fucking panhandle for it. You know what I mean? It's like, but then it's like $5,000, for like not even 2 whole days. And you're like, I could buy a car. I could take my family on a cruise to Alaska for that kind of cash in a nice balcony suite even. But no, it's just it's ridiculous nonsense there. However, I agree with Zachary here. Any movie with Predator in it should be in the theaters. Damn straight. Daniel here says, definitely do not watch The Predator. It makes Requiem look like cinema. I actually enjoyed Requiem, by the way. So there's that. Rodney P with a $5 super chat. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. Says the Native Americans couldn't handle the French or English invaders, but I'm supposed to believe they can defeat an advanced alien species hunter. What? Again, man, it's a different type of hunter, right? What you're looking at here, you have to go look at how Dutch fought the Predator in the first movie. How Dutch fought the Predator. He didn't fight the Predator with advanced technology. He didn't fight the Predator with advanced weaponry. He didn't have any. What he had was his wits. What he had was his ability to lead the Predator into a trap in order to then kill it. That's basically what's happening here. The Predator, the French and the English invaders are just the French and English invaders. They have guns. And in 1719, their guns were like black powder rifles and flintlock pistols. So they're not going to be able to have any kind of like semi-automatic capabilities. So if they miss their shot, they're fucked, right? They're absolutely 100% fucked. And the reason why the English invaders and the French also kind of, took out the Native Americans at the time, never mind was through like there was lies, right? The French and the English lied to the Native Americans to gain their trust and then killed them. There was the passing and the transmission of diseases. There was a lot of things. There was a lot of things that happened back in the day, but the Predator is not something like that. The Predator is on a hunt, and they're treating it like it's prey and things like that. So I get what you're trying to say. I just think you're completely horrifically wrong on it, is my take. Yeah, using the environment. The Predator has lasers. Yeah, so what? The Predator still can't see you if he can't detect your body heat. I'm just saying, right? Wow, Blue and Gold Throg here says the unrated cut to AVP Requiem is gonzo great. I haven't seen the unrated cut. All right, I haven't seen the unrated cut yet, but I did see it in theaters. So I think we're gonna, that was Billy's laugh you hear in the first. Okay, I don't think we're gonna get that one. Yeah, Cosmic here says Arnold Schwarzenegger's Predator is a classic. Dude, it's one of the best films of the 1980s. The fact that John McTiernan did Predator and then followed it up with Die Hard, I think just like solidify, and then like The Hunt for Red October, and then Die Hard with a Vengeance. Like, I think we can agree that John McTiernan at his height was GOAT tier, right? I mean, even doing Last Action Hero is another great movie. So there's that. Remember Jean-Claude Van Damme was supposed to be the Predator? Yeah, that would have been weird. And I'm glad he wasn't. That would have been really weird, but I'm glad he wasn't. I'm totally down with that, though. Anyway, I think the Prey hype is absolutely legit. I think when it drops in a couple days, a lot of people are going to be really, really excited to see what's going on with all that. And man, I'm just, I am definitely looking forward to diving into that one on Thursday night. And of course, recording my thoughts on it and everything else as I figure out how to review movies in a way that's not just me rambling for 10 to 15 minutes, because I don't know if everyone out there likes that. But anyway, let's move on here. Let's talk about The Punisher returning. This is something that popped up today. I haven't seen a lot of stuff going on with it. I mean, like it made its way around Twitter. There's an account here called Marvel Updates. They apparently they have 40,000 followers, so they are definitely not a small account by any metric. And they say here that The Punisher will have a series on Disney Plus. John Bernthal will return as Frank Castle, and the series will be TVMA. The series will be announced at D23. Hashtag Disney Plus, hashtag Marvel Studios. This is what I want. Like, you guys don't understand this, right? Like, Daredevil is a major thing for me, 100%. I love Daredevil. I'm a big Daredevil fan. I completely want more Daredevil. Part of that comes with the rest of it. Part of that comes with absolutely like Jessica Jones and Luke Cage and Iron Fist. And yeah, me and H. Barts will totally stan Finn Jones. I think we're probably like the only ones. I mean, I haven't followed that account, but like, I think we're basically like the only ones that stan fucking Finn Jones. But dude, look, I will say this. The Punisher, I love that show. I love season 1. I loved season 2. I know season 2 gets a lot of shit from people. It had some problems, but people are like, but the Punisher shouldn't be a babysitter. The Punisher should just kill people. And he did. He absolutely did. What I love, though, one of the things I got a kick out of with the Punisher season 2 was like the last shot of the Punisher, right? Like the last shot of the Punisher was like him going into like a warehouse full of like young, angsty, like you know, early 20-somethings or like late teenagers. They might even have been college students, man. I got no freaking idea. Or high school kids, as some people have pointed out on social media. And he just like, and then goes, and then at the very end of it just says like, in memory of Stan Lee. You know, and you have to just kind of like laugh your ass off at that, right? Because it's just like, that's pretty fit. I've seen people say, oh my God, that's tone deaf. It's terrible. It's disgusting. I can't stand it. I'm like, it's fucking, dude, Stan Lee knew the Punisher was fucking violent. Y'all need to slow your roll. Y'all need to quit bitching. Y'all need to shut the fuck up and just like fucking, you know, it's a tribute to the man. Stan the man, dude. Flat out. Let's see. Rational here says, I love John Bernthal Punisher. Straight badass. Hell yeah. Well, he also based his character from Daredevil season 2 very much on Travis Bickle, Taxi Driver. That was a big thing. You know, that was where he got a lot of the influence from. That's where he got a lot of the idea from, was definitely like from Travis Bickle. So obviously it was going to be fucked up. It was going to be violent. Javi here says they missed the opportunity with the Punisher and Blade movie. I don't, dude, well, if they're all under, right? If they're all under the umbrella of Marvel Studios, under the umbrella of Kevin Feige, Javi, then yeah, then they're going to be there, right? So it's entirely possible that John Bernthal will team up with fucking, you know, with Mahershala Ali, and they'll be able to make it. I don't know, but I have a feeling it's going to happen. So obviously it's that kind of situation. I think we're in a pretty good spot with that. Look, here's the thing though, man, me personally, I am very, very excited to see what they do with the Punisher. I mean, not only am I excited to see what they do with the Punisher because of, you know, everything involving TVMA on Disney Plus. Now that like Logan and Deadpool 1 and 2 are on there, I mean, that is the start. The parental controls for Daredevil and all those shows, that is a start. So obviously they understand that this is where, you know, they're going to have to do that. And also, look, guys, we've talked about this before, and I stand by this theory. Hulu will eventually, once Disney has full control over Hulu, which will take a couple years, they will then migrate. They will shut Hulu down and migrate it into Disney Plus. It just makes sense. And then you know what they're going to do? They're just going to you know, they're just going to like raise the price on it, because why not, right? Why not raise the price? Where everything right now is fucking expensive. Jesus. I bought a 18 pack of eggs today at Costco, which is normally like $1.89, and it was up to $4.59 for a fucking carton of eggs. That is insane. I don't even eat eggs very often, but like I was like, damn, man, holy shit. Let's see here. Shrek is daddy for $2. Thank you, buddy. Says Fat Fleck is Zack Snyder's Punisher and Zack Snyder's Justice League Part 2. You know what, man? I'm not going to disagree with you on that one, man. I'm not going to disagree with you on that whatsoever. Obviously, that's going to be something to see how much, if it happens, and who knows, we might actually be at a particular place where that could be that could happen. I don't know. We'll get to that point as we get to that point. By the way, guys, we're rocking roughly 100 people right now. Please slap the like. Let me know that you guys enjoy the content. If you guys can't support through StreamYard, you guys can't support through Patreon, become a channel member. Do me a big favor and please, subscribe to the channel and everything else. Just or share it around. I don't even know if the oh my God, did it all screw up tonight? It did. Hold on. Let me go and quickly fix. YouTube didn't upgrade the thumbnail and everything else, so that's unfortunate there. So hold on this one. I'm not happy with YouTube because they made mistakes. All right, let me just... Today's kind of a weird day. Okay, on that one. I'm just trying to update it real quick. That way people coming on in don't just think I'm a lazy asshole who never actually did anything. Oh no, it looks like it does look like it didn't actually save any of my settings, so that sucks. I actually had anyway. All right, I'll fix it later. I'll fix it now real quick. Hold on here. Let's see. Oh my God, come on, computer, work. That's the other thing I got to do too. Batfleck returns Yay. All right. I must not have saved it, or I just didn't save well enough. Oh yeah, no. I know what happened. I didn't talk about this, and this is true. Right. The reason why I was late tonight, the reason why it took me a few extra minutes to get going was because my daughter, like literally at 9:28 p.m., my daughter calls for me because she had an accident in the bathroom, and we're potty training, so she had an accident and it went everywhere. And then I had to go and clean her and clean that. So, I had to do dad stuff before we got going. So anyway, that is why what happened with that one there. Let's see here. Am I going to talk about Jessica Jones starring in a new show on AMC? I don't know anything about that, Justin. I'm sorry. So McLeod here says, Finn Jones and Iron Fist got a bum rap. I was losing my shit at the cliffhanger of Iron Fist Season 2 with him sporting the dual 1911 45s, cheap-powered pistols. Yeah, man, they Season 2 was a lot better, the Season 2 was a lot better than Season 1. Did I see Grace, by the Shrek is Daddy $2 here, if I could talk. Did I see Grace going off on the cultists? Is this on Twitter or is this in a video? Let me know. And let me know, Strick is Daddy, if you can DM it to me. We'll check it out a little bit later. So, anyway, I said Affleck was done. To be fair, we don't know yet. But we're going to get to that. Don't get ahead of it yet, Rational. You got to let it, we're easing up to it. There's still shit to talk about here, okay? Because what I want to talk about here is that apparently now Tomb Raider is a free agent. And I'm actually a little bit bummed about this, to be honest with you. But it does mean that with this bidding war going on right now, Tomb Raider will be up for purchases, and people are going to buy it, and they're going to absolutely turn this thing into probably some kind of television series. So it says here that Tomb Raider bidding war erupts as MGM loses movie rights. The last one came out, 2018, 2019, somewhere in there. And they've been, supposedly working on this new one and everything else. 2018. So it's been 4 years, and they couldn't get it done. Let's see. MGM had till May of this year to greenlight a Tomb Raider sequel, and the window passed. A host of Hollywood movie studios are in the mix and put in bids, according to multiple insiders. Saying here that Alicia Vikander, who starred in Lara Croft in 2018's Tomb Raider, is no longer attached to the project. Insiders add it's a complete reboot, and there are no casting or director commitments. Rights reverted to the game company. Then the game company and Graham King's GK Films made the deal to rep the IP. Well, didn't Square Enix just sell Crystal Dynamics? I forget who they sold them to. So I don't know. Producer Graham King and his GK Films banner acquired Tomb Raider in 2011 from Square Enix and is considering the offers. I mean, look, all things considered, we've had 3 Tomb Raider movies. And they've all been entertaining. I don't think there's any way to argue that they haven't been entertaining, right? Those movies are actually a lot of fun. The 2018 movie earned nearly $275 million at the global box office. But then the ones in 2001 and 2003 that starred Angelina Jolie grossed to $432 million worldwide. So $275 for one movie compared to $432. That's not terrible. Never mind home video sales, streaming sales, potential merch, things like that. I'm not too sure on this one. Spherical Man here says Amazon will probably get it. Maybe they've been, with Fallout. Fallout is now finally in production, right? Fallout's now finally in production on this one. Obviously, I kind of agree with Eric on this one. I wouldn't be surprised if Warner Brothers gets the rights. Right now, they might be looking to acquire some things that have that kind of market appeal. I think with the success, I do believe that with Prey's success this upcoming weekend, that the female-led action star might be something that people are going to return to. Obviously, it's going to be decried as woke and blah, 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 because that's what people do these days. It's terrible. It's stupid. But it is very much what we're going to be seeing out of this one. Reed here says, Warner Brothers feels like a Warner Brother thing. Well, to be fair, the first 2 movies that came out, 2001, 2003, those are definitely Paramount movies, so I'm not too sure. Brian here says, if I dare to ask, why did they give Jolie 2 Tomb Raider movies and Alicia didn't fit the reboot? Well, I mean, because Angelina Jolie fit the stereotype of what physically Angelina of Lara Croft looked like. If you go back to the 90s, like 96 when it came out, right? When the first game came out and you had Lara Croft with the dual wielding pistols and the gigantic pixelated tatas. That was a big thing, right? That was a big thing. A lot of dudes were just like, you know, they were flogging their log to it, right? And so, but Angelina Jolie fit the mold. And at the time she was like, I think 24, 25, maybe a little bit younger. She was definitely in that right age to do it. And the fact that they got her and her dad in it, like John Voight, because her and her dad had a big falling out like in the late 90s, and they had like, or in the 90s, and then they had recently like, you know, come back together and kind of like figured it out. So it was like this father-daughter dynamic, and they used that as a way to kind of sell the property. And I feel that Simon West did a really good job with the first movie. It was also produced by Michael Bay, also co-starred Daniel Craig. The second one co-starred Gerard Butler. Of all fucking people. Believe it or not, Gerard Butler was in that one. And it was a fine movie. It was a fun movie. And you know what? Those two were a lot of fun. However, the remake that popped up 4 years ago, that was definitely a loose recreation of the 2013 reboot, which is, I love that game. I beat that game on hard. I've 100%ed that game. It's a lot of fun. And I was really excited to see this movie. And I thought they did a decent job with the adaptation, considering the things with Himiko that they had to change. But Walton Goggins was the bad guy, and you never go wrong with Walton Goggins as the bad one. So there's definitely that to consider. I'm hoping that we get to see more out of this. We'll have to wait to see who picks this thing up. But in the meantime, I don't quite know exactly where it's going to go with this one. But Shrek's Daddy says Sony is definitely buying, and Zendaya will play Lara Croft alongside Tom Holland's Nathan Drake. You know? You know? I mean, I could see it happening. I could absolutely see it happening. I think it could entirely go down that particular way. I don't, Sony is in desperate need of some IPs right now, even though Tom Rothman sucks. We all know he sucks. And that, of course, is where things are going to go. Brian here says, I'm going to the Sony lot next week. Haha. Well, then ask questions and infiltrate on some shit. So, and then what we've got, Mad Max is in the chat. Max, go to bed. You're on vacation, dude. Yeah, Hans here says, you're in bed listening to Matt's soothing voice. That's right. Go to bed, Max. Think about me in your dreams, though. Anyway. Definitely something worth checking out there. All right, so now why don't we? Because I'm moving things along pretty quick tonight because I just don't know how long everything's gonna hold with stupid, with the fan on my microphone and stuff. So I got a lot of stuff here to get to. All right, why don't we talk about something I'm not a fan of? All right, this is actually true. I'm not a fan of this. And it's Spider-Man freshman year. It's got this whole new scenario that's going on, right? What they're doing is they're finally explaining where it fits into the multiverse based upon what we saw at Comic-Con last week with all those other images. And I'm not going to lie, I don't like it. I'm not really here for it. I'm not to say I'm not going to watch it, but right off the bat, it doesn't wow me. Right off the bat, it's not blowing my skirt up. But 115 of you are here, so if you feel like blowing my skirt up, smack the like. Tickle it a little bit. Just tease it. But gently caress it. Thank you. So here's what we know about this according to comicbook.com, and an exclusive from Brandon Davis. He says here, Spider-Man freshman year had Marvel fans pretty fired up during the Marvel Studios animation panel at Comic-Con last weekend. The series is being billed as taking place before Captain America's Civil War, following Peter Parker through New York City with characters like Doc Ock, Norman Osborn, Harry Osborn, Nico Minoru, Charlie Cox's Daredevil, Doctor Strange, and more. However, the Marvel Cinemax Universe Earth 616 story seems to have plot lines which would contradict Spider-Man having interacted with those characters in the past. So the question of how does Spider-Man freshman year fit into the MCU timeline has arisen, and the answer seems to be it doesn't. So this is coming in from Brad Winterbaum, who played an integral role at Marvel throughout the years. He was an executive producer on Thor, Love and Thunder, What If, and a few other things. Now, he now serves as the head of streaming for the franchise and has appeared at the Marvel Studios animation panel. But where looks at Spider-Man freshman year were presented, along with other things, so they got to interview him. So this is what he said on Phase Zero, BD's comic book Marvel podcast. He says, well, like we said in the panel, it follows the pattern you see in Captain America Civil War. Down to Peter getting the broken Blu-ray player from the trash, and he walks to the department for the famous moment where Tony Stark is waiting for it to offer him the Stark internship and take him to Berlin. But because of things that happen in the multiverse, because of new random occurrences, it's not Tony Stark who's waiting for him there. It's Norman Osborn. And that sends his life in an unexpected trajectory that collides him with many unexpected characters in the Marvel universe. Now, look, I will fully admit, Feige knows what the fuck he's doing. All right, Feige absolutely knows what the fuck he's doing. This is going to have long-lasting ramifications and repercussions down the road. Obviously, they're really, really, really pushing what they can do with Spider-Man and animation and Sony and everything else. I totally get that. All right, I totally get that. But to still say that it's part of the MCU is kind of weird because, well, we don't quite know yet. But anyway, Shrek Daddy here with $2 asks or says, still annoyed that we haven't gotten Osborn in the MCU. That's coming. That's going to be coming next, I think. We're gonna meet Harry. We're gonna meet Norman in the college years of Spider-Man. I think that's what we're gonna get with this, and I think that's gonna be okay. But anyway, I'm just saying, to me, this seems kind of awkward because why would you say that it's in the MCU and then not have it be in the MCU, right? So again, because they're saying here it was originally billed as taking place before the events of Captain America Civil War, and it was going to lead in to the MCU, and we know all this kind of stuff. Clearly, at some point, it's going to have some kind of situation where there's going to be like an incursion or whatever, or maybe it's going to tie in with the ending of No Way Home or the beginning of No Way Home with the spell. We don't quite know yet. We don't know who else might have come through that we didn't see in No Way Home. I just, man, I don't know. Hold on. It's just, to me, it just sounds so, it sounds just kind of like reductive to what they've been setting up. All right. Now, and I've been very open about how I feel in regards to like the multiverse. I've been very open with how I feel about like these companies doing all this shit. As much as I believe Marvel will get it right, I'm still not necessarily going to be down 100% for the journey. We don't quite know yet what's going to happen with it. But in this case, it's just going to be, all right, fine. 2024, maybe they'll wow me a little bit more by then. But we'll have to wait and see with this one. Spherical Man here says the multiverse is part of the MCU. So how hard is it to grasp? Freshman year is in the MCU, just not Prime. I don't like it. Look, here's the way I view this, Spherical Man, okay? And I say this, and I've said this before in a lot of other ways. When you look at the average viewer, and the average viewer is like, okay, cool, I like Marvel. I can deal with the multiverse because the multiverse, while it might seem all expanding in regards to the stories that were told, it still has a linear path for our main heroes to take. Whatever crevice they go into, whatever path they travel down, it will loop itself back around. How do you take an animated show that's meant to take place before the events of Civil War, tie it into those events, and then alter the course of things without completely like just setting, losing your average viewer? And that's what I'm talking about here, right? That's what I'm talking about here. And now RJ says it's in the MCU, just in the MCU's multiverse. It will probably connect to something just like how What If connected, even if a very subtle way. Maybe it will, right? Maybe it will. I just, at the same time, it doesn't really interest me like this. And then the more they talk about it, again, it doesn't really interest me. I'm just like, all right, whatever with it. Cool beans. It is what it is. Let's move on. Spherical Commander says, just admit it, Matt. You don't get how the multiverse works. I understand how the multiverse works. What I'm talking about are storytelling ideas. I'm talking about like how stories are told to general audiences. The general audience, if they start to lose the plot with this, they're going to lose the plot. That's how it works out, right? So again, why do you think we saw Phase 5 and Phase 6 at San Diego Comic-Con? Because he wants to establish where the road is taking us. They're going to do the multiverse saga in 3 phases. Those 3 phases are actually like really fucking quick if you think about it. Because Phase 4 didn't kick off until 2021. Phase 6 is going to end in 2025. So it's going to be 4 years of the multiverse saga, because they're only going through it super quick. And as a result of going through it super quick, they don't want to lose the audience. All right. And that's what it boils down to. That's what it boils down to. They don't want to lose the audience. And so they have to do it. They have to get through it super quick in order to open the door up for X-Men and for potentially like more Spider-Man parallel stuff with Sony, whatever the fuck Sony's doing. I mean, look, with Kevin Feige as a producer on Madam Web, who knows what's going to happen with that? Obviously, it's going to be in a thing. Yeah, I know Phase 6 is only a year. It's like, again, they're just rushing to get to the end of the Kang Dynasty, of the Kang Saga, of the TVA, of the multiverse. They are rushing it through. Does that mean everything's going to connect? Yeah, probably. I'm sure they've already planned this kind of stuff out. However, it's probably going to be a thing like that. Now, McLeod here says, we're also forgetting that they're bringing back No Way Home with 30 minutes of extra footage. Maybe that extra footage will connect to freshman year and or the multiverse at large. Maybe. And I think at this point, that could be something good. Now, Spherical Man is refuting my point from earlier. He says, but the general audience knows nothing about these phases. We do. That's mainly who the shows and movies are for. See, that's bullshit. You can't sit there and tell me that the largest entertainment property in the world that has been able to reach the pinnacle that it has does not have the general audience understanding how these phases and arcs work. They do. They absolutely do. Because it's laid out for them in the movies and now the shows and everything else. And people talk about it. The thing is, though, when you start to introduce parallel universes and multiverses and other dimensions and things like that, you run the risk of losing the general audience who are not wanting to think about the logic that it takes. To go from point A to point B is one thing. To go from point A to point B to point C to point D all the way to point Z just to finally get to where you needed to get to, that was originally point B, is going to confuse people. That's what I'm talking about. All right. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying like because even go back and look at like the whole incursion stuff from Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. That was explained relatively poorly. That confused a lot of people. The TVA variant stuff, even with Miss Minutes giving that presentation in the beginning of episode 1, giving us the base understanding of how Loki became a variant instead of, going through his particular storyline. It was, again, one of those things that, it kind of ties into the whole incursion thing. But again, it's like a whole different logic pattern here. That's what we're talking about, right? And Tales from the Hood here is right? I think people are already a little confused by this. Yeah, I agree. But Music Man says here, right now I get what they're doing, and that's all that matters. That's very true. Rational here says, Matt, the way Marvel does it is less confusing than how DC does it. Well, DC doesn't really do anything. Now, do they? I mean, we'll talk about today's information, but still. Spherical Man here says, then screw the ones who can't keep up. We can, and in the end, that's all that matters now. Well, yeah, right? I'm just saying. Maybe. Now, Cass right here makes an interesting point, and this is something that I think needs to be brought up more often. He says, right, that's why I almost stopped reading comics and went to manga. So here's the fucking thing with this, right? And I'm going to use One Piece as an example, something that I'm even not like supremely familiar with, but based upon my understanding of it, I think I can use it as an example here. There's over like 1,100 issues of One Piece, right? Or 1,500 now. I don't even fucking know. It's over 1,000. I do know that much. Isn't it a continuous story, right? It's all written by one guy. It's a continuous tale told over a multitude of years, right? And sagas and things like that, right? Because isn't the Netflix show doing the East-West saga, right? Well, my point, though, is when you talk about something like that, if I'm correct, then when you have different runs in comics, it's confusing to the audience who again might come in late to that. Oh, it's just this run. Well, then they're rebooting it again. What the fuck's the point of that? Where's the continual character growth? Because when you talk about movies and entertainment, the character growth has to be there. It has to be consistent. It has to be persistent, and it has to actually mean something. You can't just end a run and then revert back to zero and offer new character growth. That contradicts things that already happened. That's what I'm talking about here. That's what I'm saying. All right. Marvel, the Martian here, thank you, buddy, says, I endorse Riley Reid, hashtag Riley for President 2024. She's running on the Bush ticket because, my God, she has a lot of it. But Okay, so RJ here says One Piece has been a consistent story with the same characters for 20 years. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Now, Spherical Manor says, I know it sounded like gatekeeping, but if you come this far and watched all the shows and movies and managed and still get lost, it might be time to hop off the train. But you see, I don't necessarily feel like that's accurate, though, because I think they can also fuck up in storytelling. And it could be something that's an issue. I don't know. We're not there yet. All I'm saying is Spider-Man freshman year, on what I was reading about that, I'm not, I ain't a big fan of that, to be fair. All right. And it's not, it just ain't for me on that front, guys. I'll watch it. I'll probably love the fuck out of it. It's got Charlie Cox as Daredevil, man. Hell yeah, man. That's the kind of shit that that gets me going. So I'm okay with that shit, right? But why don't we move on? Why don't we move on and talk about what I think is what was the biggest story of the day, then became the second biggest story of the day, and that's Alan Horn. Because holy shit, guys, today's been fucking wild. Alan Horn, man, this guy's a legend. He can't retire. That's the thing. To keep this is the quote from The Godfather. Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. This is what happens with Alan Horn. So Alan Horn is now a consigliere to David Zaslav over there at Warner Brothers Discovery, and the implications of this. I'm not gonna lie, folks. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this for you. I ain't gonna try to steamroll you on it. This shit's fucking massive. Absolutely. There's no way to argue that this is not massive to some extent. Okay. So this is pretty crazy here. So here's what we know. Alan Horn joins Warner Brothers Discovery in consultant role. A lot of information to dive into here. Let's check it out here. So Horn, who retired from Disney in 2021 after a decade at the studio, you got to remember here, he was coaxed out of retirement, forced retirement, essentially, at Warner Brothers by Bob Iger to oversee Walt Disney Pictures, and he helped revitalize the studio. Absolutely. Okay. So now he's got a consultant role over there at Warner Brothers Discovery as being appointed by Zaslav himself to help him navigate the film industry. He'll start on August 1st. The formal announcement comes after reports that Horn had been in discussions with WBD executives and had been seen on the lot having meetings with top decision makers. I remember when that came out. Very interesting when that did. So what we says here is Zaslav said this in a staff memo saying, I am thrilled to share with you that Alan Horn, one of the most respected studio executives in the industry, has agreed to assist me in a consulting role during the transition period starting August 1st. No one knows this business better than Alan does. He has an extraordinary career spanning nearly half a century. Most recently, he served as chairman and later co-chairman and chief creative officer of the Walt Disney Studios, where for a period of nearly 10 years, he oversaw the production of all motion pictures and the integration of Lucasfilm and Fox Film Studios, as well as the expansion into producing content for Disney streaming services. Look, man, there's literally this whole passage right here is Zaslav just straight blowing Horn. But I'm not meaning that in a condescending way. All right. I don't mean that in a condescending way. I mean, literally fondling the balls and just totally jerking him off, which it completely deserves, by the way. So this is a good thing, in my opinion. I've been critical of Warner Brothers, and I'll admit when some shit sounds good. This sounds good. So Horn is a very well-respected and seen as one of the most honest and upstanding executives in the business, which is kind of rare for Hollywood, let's be fair. The appointment is a homecoming of sorts for Horn, who was forced out as president and chief operating officer in 2013. Horn oversaw the Harry Potter franchise and Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy. Now, the Harry Potter franchise, that thing's in dire straits. It's so fucking bad right now. And I mean, Horn, they need someone like Horn who has a vision and can navigate this stuff. And even Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy, Dark Knight Rises notwithstanding, the first two were banger. Now, he was lured out of retirement and enjoyed a great second. Here's the thing. He was forced out. In 2013. Okay, I thought it would have been earlier than The Dark Knight Rises. I could have at least used that as a bit of a helpful thing against Nolan. He was forced, Horn was out of the way and couldn't help guide the project, I guess. Wishful thinking. He was lured out of retirement and enjoyed a great second act at Disney, where he cultivated relationships at Marvel, Lucasfilm, and Pixar to great success. During his 9 years at Disney, the studio dominated the box office with ease and set numerous records in the process. In that time, 20 films, including Star Wars: The Force Awakens, Avengers: Endgame, and Black Panther crossed the $1 billion mark. 3 movies, The Force Awakens, Endgame, and Avengers: Infinity War, even surpassed $2 billion globally. Look, man, at this point, Disney's got like the top 5 spot, right? It's Avatar. It is, I think, Force Awakens. Then it's then I think it's like Avengers: Infinity War, then Titanic, and then no, sorry, I think it's Avatar, Titanic, Infinity War, Star Wars, Endgame. I think that's the number. But James Cameron is up there, dude. James Cameron is like, and those are all now Disney properties. Now, despite Horn's track record, however, some Warner Brothers Discovery insiders have voiced concern that Zaslav is spending money on high-priced consultants at a time which the company is undergoing cost-cutting efforts and extensive layoffs. Former MGM firm leaders Michael DeLuca and Pamela Abdy were recently named as co-chairperson and CEO of Warner Brothers Motion Picture Group, taking over duties from Toby Emmerich, who got his golden parachute. Zaslav's memo says he's already learned a ton about the film industry from spending time with Horn, saying, "Over the past 6 months, I've been fortunate to spend time with Alan. He has been generous and hugely helpful to me. I've learned a ton about the business from our conversations. I could not be more excited to be able to continue to tap into his thinking, expertise, and stellar instincts as we transition our film business and our home motion picture strategy for the future. And I know Mike and Pam are equally excited to have Alan's ear and to be able to benefit from his wealth of experience gained from such an illustrious track record." Now, didn't Mike DeLuca like run New Line and like answered to Horn? Maybe I'm mistaking that one. Maybe I'm a little bit wrong on that. So I don't quite know what's going on, but like I agree with Eric here. Horn coming home, rejoining WB means glory days. I completely agree. There, buddy. I really do. I have no reason to believe that Horn coming back is not going to be a great thing. Now, will it restore certain verses? I don't know. I've seen that stuff flying around today. We don't know yet. The memo concludes, "In many ways, this is a homecoming. Alan began his career with the legendary Norman Lear and partners Jerry Paracchio and Bud Yorkin, and later co-founded and led Castle Rock Entertainment before serving as president and COO of Warner Brothers for 12 years. He knows the ins and outs of the studio and helped to build it into the powerhouse it is today, or well, at least was a while ago. And he has widespread talent relations and great respect and appreciation for our unparalleled collection of IP, and will be able to provide a unique and valued perspective to the overall creative process. We are so glad to have him join us." That's awesome, right? So here's the thing with this. He's only going to be there for like a short period of time. This is just a consultation thing. He doesn't even have, he has an office on the lot. He's not going to be working from the office. This is like a part-time gig. He wants to spend time with his family. COVID is an issue as to like why he's not on the lot, but his assistant will be on the lot, and the assistant will be, I think in an interview today, Horn described him as a healthier young man, right? So it's like, "Go into the fray, good sire. You shall be my banner man. If you get sick with the plague, I shall replace you, but you will not be easily forgotten. And you have a nice dental package for your family." Anyway, I just feel like, look, okay, so here's a question, right? Geeks here asks, what does Horn do first? And here's the thing. I don't know. I think what he's going to do is I think he's going to talk to Zaslav. They're going to look to see what exactly Zaslav is going to want to do. Because even in the interview, they asked him, does he have any kind of greenlighting powers? And he's like, no. He's like, I'm just a consigliere. All I'm going to do is like advise, and they can ask me whatever. But I tell you, if he says to greenlight something, like they'll greenlight it. Like I think he's going to have that power unofficially, right? Officially, unofficially. That's what it's going to boil down to. And will he be able to take on, will he be able to take a look at DC and really kind of like help build it up? And the answer to that is 100% yes, right? Like I think he even said in an interview, yeah, I'll probably be also looking at DC. So he knows that DC is a massive, massive, massive thing for Warner's. Obviously, a lot of people are starting to talk about this from the perspective of, okay, like Ben Affleck won, best director with, or best film with Argo. Like there was The Town was a big hit for Warner Brothers. Ben's like a studio guy. Alan Horn was able to like, work those relationships. Like he brought Zack Snyder in, he greenlit 300 and Watchmen and Sucker Punch, right? And he did a bunch of that stuff, even probably greenlit Man of Steel until he was forced out in 2013, because of the whole corporate takeover bullshit. So he probably wants to clean house. He's probably determined to do it. I mean, look, Iger coaxed him out of retirement, got him to take over Walt Disney Studios, fucking dominated that market for a near decade. So Zaslav is probably like, just help us create a roadmap, help us push all this stuff. So I don't quite know. Now, Eric here asked the question, will Zaslav fire Hamada and create a studios for DC and others? Reboot the DCEU? Well, we do know that most likely Zaslav will turn DC films into its own vertical, very similar to Marvel Studios, and have a DC czar who oversees the projects there and answers to Michael DeLuca, and I think Pam Abdi is doing something else, but it's mostly going to be Michael DeLuca from my understanding. And if I'm wrong, please correct me if I'm wrong. That's what I think. So is Hamada going to get got? Yeah, eventually Hamada is going to get got. That all depends though on if they bring in somebody to oversee it. Now, I think without Alan Horn, right, like Hamada would stay. If you honestly, because it's like if Horn, because there's been the rumors, there's been the speculation that that nobody wants to take the DC job because it's just fucking toxic, which it absolutely is. Right? Who would want to go in and inherit such a mess that's going to literally take years to clean up? It's going to take years to fix, right? And who's going to want to go in there to go do that and then like have to deal with the potential backlash from all of that shit? Well, quite frankly, no one. But if you were offered the position to run Warner Brothers, to run DC Films, and you had the ability to kind of like work with Alan Horn, and to get his ear and to talk to him and get his insight on things and see what he would do and help guide you and fix. Dude, I'd fucking take that in a heartbeat. I'm an idiot. I would totally take that in a heartbeat. Like at this point, Hamada would be good to go like start sucking up to Alan Horn, like Alan, baby, booby, when do you want to go play golf? Right? Whatever. It's not, it's like a Watto. But that's what it boils down to. That's what it is. He could easily do that. He could easily just like start sucking up to Alan Horn and go like, teach me, master, sort of thing, and see if it actually works out. Now Mama Steve here says, I do think Hamada is out. I do too. Rodney here says there's no point in paying out Hamada's contract to just let it expire. That's mostly what's going to happen. But again, like we don't know what's going to happen post 2023. And I think that was, that's by design. We don't know what's going to happen by then. Who knows? But I do feel that at this particular point, things are going to change. But I can't tell you specifically what's going to happen, nor am I going to try to tell you. I know people out there are going to run with the narrative, and you guys all know the narrative, right? Is it now? He likes Zach going to come back? Well, here's the thing. I'll be honest with you guys. With Horn there, if Horn comes on in and can really like make a better working environment, then probably because I think if Horn was there back in 2017, none of this shit would have fucking happened, right? I think if Robinov was there in 2017, none of this shit would have fucking happened. Okay, but Tushihara was a dick, and everything else, and so ultimately, I think if a better environment can be made with a person who understands the industry, understands the company, and has talent relations, then yeah, I could see Zach coming back. I could. That is me being legitimately 100% honest right there. That is not me bullshitting, whatever, right? It's one of those things. So it's going to be crazy to see what happens next. By the way, we got 129 people here. Rhea dropping the fire here about hitting that like button, guys. Smack it, smack it, smack it. To quote Prodigy, smack that bitch up. Because who doesn't love Prodigy, baby? Right? Who doesn't love Prodigy? So there's that one. Either way, like, I'm kind of curious to see what you guys have to say about this. Let's see. The last sane one here says, if they brought Snyder back, they would not let him have anywhere near the budget Warner Brothers gave him. So no $250 million to make a movie. Probably not. They would. I agree with you. They would probably like scale him back a little bit. I think Army of the Dead had a budget of $90 million and it looked good. So we'll see what they plan on doing with that. At the same time, I think there will be more control over Zach, but they'll still allow him to do the movie he wants to do. Do I think Nolan will come back? 100,000% do I think Nolan will come back. I did see did you guys see, by the way, Oppenheimer, like Universal Pictures was running they were running a live stream that was just showing the teaser trailer on repeat. At least that's what I saw when I tuned in. Teaser trailer looked pretty good. Looking forward to seeing it, but I don't think Nolan, it's $100 million movie at Universal. I don't see him sticking around if for the next stuff. We'll have to wait to see. Fritz here says Dune is the new thing. I mean, it did win some Oscars. So there's that, right? So there's that. Oh, right. It's Firestarter. You're right. Yeah, that's true. All right. Rational here says, honest question. If Warner Brothers Discovery decides to keep Affleck and they don't want the timeline change post Flash and Cavill, in Black Adam, would you still consider it Snyderverse if that happens? I mean, look, it's all kind of Snyderverse. Let's just be honest here. That's kind of what it boils down to. None of that's really changed. It's all part of kind of like the same universe. They just don't want to fully acknowledge it yet because they might want to change a couple things. If they bring back, if they really try to hone in on DC and push it to meet Marvel, Horn is your dude for that, man. Horn is your guy. And I think that's going to be really, really fascinating to see how it plays out. Like, again, we might ultimately be overselling Alan Horn. The guy is clearly, he's only coming in as just a part-timer. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to downplay his involvement. The motherfucker ain't like a Walmart greeter or nothing, a retiree that just needs something to do in the afternoon. But like, he is coming in halftime to act with the ability to not oversee anything. He's not going to take on any projects. He's just going to offer his advice and go from there. And he'll take a look at things, and he'll be a good, person to have who understands what works well. And even talking in the interview, they talked about the whole release window, right? 45 days and then streaming. And even Horn was saying, yeah, no. At this point, like, it's basically going to stay because like that's the new normal. So they have to adapt for that. And that's going to be something I think he'll look at, but Disney's kind of doing the same thing. What cracks me up the most about this is even though Horn, because I guarantee you Horn coming back in as this particular fashion, Iger was cool with it. Like, I think a lot of what's going on for Horn, it's a couple things. One, it's definitely like payback is a motherfucker, right? Like to the people who forced him out 9 years ago, like the people who forced him out and everything else. He obviously like wants to get payback, right? You done pissed off the Horn sort of thing. And so he wants to do that, but then also, I think there's a little bit of animosity there, like how he got booted out of fucking Disney. He left when Iger left, which makes sense, but still, Chapek ain't done a good of a job. A lot of people out there really aren't a big fan of Chapek, and even fucking Bob Iger has kind of like, through reports, not directly, right? Not because Iger is too politically savvy, but even Iger through reports has absolutely said that, again, allegedly through reports that, hiring Chapek was like the worst decision he made for his career. And even he's been talking with Zaslav. So my question is Horn and Iger going to work with Warner Brothers to boost them up to actively be competition for Disney? Because let's face it, Disney has no fucking competition. It's not that they own the IPs. It's just not that they own all the IPs. They literally just don't have that level of competition like they used to. DC to take on Marvel, man, not even a thing, right? 2 of their movies have cracked $1 billion. And even then it was like one of them did well predominantly in China. The other one did well because of the hyperbole and nonsense that was surrounding it due to fucking, enthusiast press, the fucking access media and shit, right? And so obviously, like, what if these guys are coming on in to kind of like put the screws to Chapek a little bit, to raise up their quality of films in order to really put put it on there? I don't quite know. Listen, Spherical Man here says, Jarbo, it was right there for you. They messed with the bull. Now they get the horn. Oh my God. I know. That's a Breakfast Club reference, man. Fuck, I should have called it. That was good. I know I fucked that one up, man. I fucked that one up. Do you see Zaslav and Horn bringing in someone like Lou D'Esposito to run DC Studios? No. I think Lou is very loyal to Feige and probably in line to take over when Feige does. Lou, I don't see him doing that. But then again, anything could happen. I don't know, man. I mean, money is money, right? Money is money. Money can lure them over there. Who knows? DC movies do have an Academy Award. Yes, that's right. The Suicide Squad has an Academy Award for costumes, and it does have a Grammy for Best Soundtrack. That is true. Rational here, it says DC can beat Marvel if they invest their cinematic universe more and have someone like Bruce Tim shepherd it. I mean, well, I'm saying if they go where the puck is, right? If they stop chasing the puck, now with Horn, they won't chase the puck, right? Now with Horn, they'll understand where the puck is going, I think, and do well with that. And so again, I still think animation is probably good, but with Horn involved, I might have to amend that statement there. Anyway, there's a lot there with this. There's absolutely a lot there with this. But guys, we gotta talk about the elephant in the room here, folks. We gotta talk about the thing nobody saw coming. But it did. Affleck, folks, is back. What in the ever-loving fuck is going on with this? Affleck is back. This shit dropped today and shocked the fuck out of me. I'll tell you all that. It absolutely shocked the fuck out of me. Let's take a look here at this article from Slash Film. Jason Momoa confirms it. Ben Affleck's return as Bruce Wayne in Aquaman 2 reshoots. Now, obviously, this is a scenario where they're looking at, the restructuring of the Flash, and the fact that Black Adam comes out first, and Aquaman comes out first, and the Flash got delayed because Ezra Miller, and that whole debacle of a situation. They haven't even done reshoots yet for the Flash, as far as I understand it. But if they have a couple moments that are pivotal to a Batman being needed, that's the thing. RJ here says Grace is having a meltdown on Twitter about this. Really? Like, how much of a meltdown? Because I might have to log into my alt account in order to take a look at that. Because I ain't blocked over there yet, baby. I ain't blocked over there, motherfucker. So it is definitely one of those things. All right. What we got here is, you know what? Let me see. I will log into my alt account and I will take a look here at Grace. So we'll see. Anyway, let's get into the article here before I go and pull up the Grace stuff, because that's always going to be funny. Is there a video on this yet? I would love it if there's a video we could check out. We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, here, this is what the article says. So, hey, so remember when we discussed how the premature ending of Ben Affleck's turn as Batman seemed like a bad idea? Well, that might be changing thanks to reshoots being made for Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Momoa recently posted a very interesting post on his Instagram feed alongside Affleck with a surprising caption, saying here, "Reunited Bruce and Arthur. Love you and miss you, Ben. WB Studio Tours just explored the backlot. All right. Busted on set. Great things coming to Aquaman 2. All my aloha, Jay." It's such a weird way of saying that, right? Like, love you and miss you. WB Studio Tours just explored the backlot. Busted and great things coming Aquaman 2. It's like, it reads like a child who's never actually written before, trying to like write like a note to their parents. It's such a weird thing. It's such a weird thing about this, but it took me a second to kind of figure it out. I'm like, what is this like the reshoots? Like, are these the reshoots, or are this when they ran into each other on set filming the movie? Like what's going on? Well, I mean, like, because we got, that picture. There's this picture, the two of them together. Clearly he's got the Bruce Wayne wig, and he's got the very chiseled chin. Looks like a shovel, and but you can tell like he's just in the suit. So he's in the Bruce Wayne suit, but this is the video that popped up today.
Well, it's not a fucking secret anymore, is it? Sorry, children. That's what happens, Warner Brothers. When you walk out of your set, and there's our fans. Hey guys, have a good time. Jameson. Well, we tried to keep it a secret. All right, here we go. Thank you. Oh. Sorry, bro. Whoops. Well,
there you have it. There you absolutely have it. Affleck, Momoa back together again, clearly doing reshoots for Aquaman 2. The cool thing about this ultimately is that it allows Ben the opportunity for another run at it, which everyone loves, myself included. And, you know, it does allow for us to kind of get more hyped up, right? All right, cool. Ben and Aquaman 2, Ben and the Flash, a couple months apart from each other, we get more Ben. Maybe that Cavill can happen next. Maybe that will be a thing. I don't quite know. Either way, it is definitely something that is going to be interesting to behold. So you know, Slash Film here goes into the question, what does this mean for the DCEU? So they say, Affleck's supposed reappearance as Batman undoubtedly brings up a lot of questions. How is he going to be integrated into the plot? Will he put on the cowl and fight some sea creatures? Unfortunately, these questions are just two of many that probably won't be answered until Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is released next year. Besides, we don't even have a clear idea of what the movie itself is going to be about. However, it's likely that the Batman seen in the photos Momoa posted won't be diving into the ocean unless he wants to ruin that suit. This appearance also brings up a question regarding perhaps the DCEU's most controversial movie in production, The Flash. Affleck has been attached to Andy Muschietti's long-gestating film, which has once again hit massive roadblocks due to a series of allegations made against Ezra Miller. Given how it's clear that Affleck scenes were made during reshoots on Aquaman due to the official production ending in January, there is a possibility that there has been a cameo switcheroo with the DCEU's Batman now appearing in a different film. However, he could still appear in both movies since Warner Brothers has no plans of shelving The Flash as of yet. And that, again, going back to that Horn situation, I don't know. I do not know what exactly Horn is going to do. I really don't know with this one. I think it's going to be very fascinating to see what Horn might recommend for this, especially if he's going to have a hand in DC to see what they're up to, right? We've literally no idea what's going to happen with this, but it's going to be very fascinating nonetheless. But let's take a quick look here at Grace Randolph's Twitter account, because apparently, according to RJ, she's been having a bit of a meltdown, a bit of a sesh about this. Real quick though, I do see a command unit. We'll get to that at the end. All right. Let's get into this one here. So, all right. Let's see here. Okay. So, no, I don't know what this she deleted the tweet. Okay. Do you think they're retconning maybe cancel out the Flash? No, they're working on the Flash. All right. Let's keep going down here. All right. Just got word from source. Ben Affleck is indeed only being added to replace Keaton because of the change of release dates, as many have correctly guessed, not indicative of any big changes. Asked here, so we don't get Keaton anymore. That's all I was looking forward to. She says, no, you are still getting Keaton, but he will be introduced in The Flash, which now comes out after Aquaman 2. So, I mean, that makes sense, right? So obviously having a Batman in Aquaman, having it be Ben is a good thing. Shooting on the Warner Brother lot in Los Angeles on a stage is like a super easy one-day thing for Ben to do. Now it says here, does Affleck still die in The Flash? DC really needs to get their crap together. I say that because I want them to succeed. She says, he does not die anymore. He gets lost in the multiverse. And the idea was that Flash could save him. But after Ezra Miller scandal, who knows how they'll decide to end it. Yeah, I don't think they're going to end it on a cliffhanger. I really don't think they're going to end it on a cliffhanger. And then Nick here asks, was the Aquaman 2 post-credits originally Keaton? She says, yes, as Bruce Wayne approaching Aquaman. Okay. So, and then, of course, a super follower here, which is not RJ, by the way. RJ is a super follower of Grace, but says you're getting to the bottom of it. She says it's what I suspected, but I wanted to be sure. So, okay, we've got that. Is there anything? Today was a crazy day. All right, yeah. Oh, here we go. Okay, and Cultus convinced a small cameo definitely means the return of the Snyderverse. See you all tomorrow with the GTA San Andreas. Good old CJ gif, baby. And then she'll talk about it in the morning. But then, of course, you've got people here doing their thing as per usual. right? Ben Affleck doesn't want to come back, and then but things change. All right, things change. If you get the opportunity to kind of round out this role, and so wait, what's going on here? We can't see the tweets. The screen's just showing her profile. Really? Is that what's going on? I mean, it should work, right? Grace is too mad making this person. I guess so. Hold on here. I want to double check this because it should work. Hold on. Yeah, it works, RJ. What are you talking about? Like, uh-oh, I hit the wrong button, guys. I backed out the wrong button. I hit the wrong button. I didn't realize I had left. My bad, y'all. I had to log out of Twitter and log back in, and then I ended up accidentally leaving the studio. So that is absolutely my bad on that one, there, guys. But okay, we're definitely back. Yeah. I'm here. He came back because of money. Yeah, that's probably why he came back. All right. So according to Grace here, going into it, so just got word from a source that Ben is indeed being only added to replace Keaton. We talked about that one. Okay, so we also covered the Monroe. Well, I haven't seen the Monroe trailer. I'm not going to watch it here. But then saying the cameo is convinced a bunch of, or the cultists convinced a small cameo definitely means a return to Snyderverse. Okay. Going on to say, okay, someone says here, are you really that bothered by the fact that you wrongly said he'd never return? I'm bothered by the fact that this conversation with this ridiculous conspiracy theories is never going to end. I don't care that Batfleck is back. Is he even really back? Who the hell knows? I do care that hateful and toxic fans who prey on Snyder fans just got another win. And listen, I'm not going to lie. I'm essentially in the same boat on that one, to be fair. That's my big takeaway from this one. The people that are like the absolute worst are the ones that are going to probably be very happy about this. Let me just go to the next image. I just don't want to, I don't want to dox out any information here. Okay, you sent me that image. Okay, here's the other one. All right, here we go. Cool. So saying here, clearly we ain't ever going to move past this shit. The DCEU will never, ever be free to build again. Wow, those Wakanda Forever trailer views must have really scared Aquaman too. Plus, perhaps they needed to reshoot Michael Keaton and credit scene with the Flash delayed. On the bright side, maybe someday, when desperate enough, they'll bring back Cavill. And I think that at the end of the day, I think that's basically about it, right? I think that's what everybody pretty wants, like bring back Cavill. Right? That's what I want. Bring back fucking Cavill, dude. Like, that's the thing. That's what everybody out there is wanting to get their hands on. They want Cavill. Was she on? Aw, come on, dude. Nah, come on. The thing is, you got to understand. I agree with RJ. She's definitely super salty over this. That is absolutely 100% true. She is, but the thing is though, it's people that she said it would never happen. Things obviously changed, but the fans who want more are going to look at every little thing as being a win. We already know that. All right. Now let the Snyder fans get their win today. This is a huge win. I don't disagree that this is a huge win for them, and they should be happy. We're all happy Ben Affleck is coming back as Batman. Hopefully it will be for a lot more. But given the terribleness of a few of them, I don't want them to get that win. That's me being petty as fuck. I'll fully admit that shit. But I addressed it at the beginning of the stream, and I want to move on. I think this is not that big. No, RJ, I don't think it's a cameo. Let's treat it as a cameo. That's all it is. It's just, let's treat it as a cameo. That's all it is. For right now, a cameo. Let's just treat it like it's a cameo, and it's just setting something up in the movie. And then from there, we get to see him again in a couple months later in The Flash, and that's it. We don't know yet. And if he's lost, he's lost, or they change it. We don't know yet. So just right now, Cameo. Nothing's restored yet. We don't know. Just cameo. Giving in to that nonsense. No, it's just what changed? What changed was a release date changed, RJ. A release date changed, and they probably had a Batman-centric scene, and they needed a Batman. Right? That's probably what happened. It's just, that's it. If it's a 1 day on set, we don't know the specifics of it. So I'm just saying, like, just treat it like it's a cameo. Don't read into it. Because once you start reading into it, you know where it goes. And let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's not read into it as anything more than just we're getting him back in a cameo. Maybe not. No, you are saying that though, RJ. You're not saying jump up and down. You are like, let the Snyder fans have their win. Let this be a thing. We don't know what's going to happen. Anything can happen tomorrow. Stop it. This is toxic positivity. Dude. Let them be happy. Sure. But let's treat it for what we know that it is. A cameo. That's it. That's it, man. Just don't read into it any more than that. Because what's going to happen is you're going to get too excited and you're going to start thinking about it too much, because I know you do this. I'm telling you, stop. Just stop. Or if you want to go and watch other people that are going to do that, then you know where to go. But that won't be here. I'm just saying. Love you, brother, but that's it. I'm hoping he comes back, but it's a cameo for right now, and that's where it's got to be. What is toxic positivity? Look it up, Javi. Look it up. It's there. Let's see. Lord Slugs here says, just bring back the old JL crew to Snyderverse and obviously recast Cyborg, maybe Michael B. Jordan. Nah. If he's up for what, Valzad or whatever, then no. It's definitely like, it's definitely not going to be Michael Jordan there. Some of y'all need to quit acting like Richard Dreyfuss in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, trying to find something huge and small things. Man, don't give me a plate of fucking mashed potatoes and a fork. That will make me some goddamn Devil's Tower, motherfucker. So, no, I do love Close Encounters of the Third Kind. It's great stuff. That dude Vince here says, I'm honestly surprised people don't know what toxic positivity is. I think because you don't hear about it enough, right? You don't hear about it enough. Like the crazy side of that fandom is all toxic positivity, and it's like, look, I'm a pessimist as fuck, but like, I'll admit today was a good day. Alan Horn and this, good day, but take it for what it is. Good day. Don't read the fuck into it. So no, RJ, you can't say here, we don't know what they're reshooting or doing. We don't know. But this didn't really, I don't believe this opened up more possibilities, and nor did you. You just gotta like be excited you're gonna see him again. Don't overthink it, dude. And that's that. That's that right there, man. It is what it is. I'm excited for more if we get it. In the meantime, I'm not gonna get my fucking hopes up, dude. Because you know what that is? That is a fucking fight. That is a fucking fight. And we all know what happens with that shit. And quite frankly, I don't want to fucking deal with that. So that being said, as we now get to the end of all the stories I planned, an hour and a half, good amount of time here. Let's take about maybe 10, 15 minutes. And you guys can ask me anything you want to ask me while I prep up this short that Command Unit had asked, I should say had put onto the, super chats to check out. So thank you for that one there, Command Unit. But yeah, you guys can ask me anything you want to ask me right now. I want to do more of this to kind of like talk to people about it. And to see what's going on here. So Rainbow the Gamer says, I'm Daredevil and can't wait for Born Again. Oh yeah, same here, man. Same here. Eric here says, you had your Ice Cube moment today. Today was a good day. Yeah, today was a good day, man. It was fucking hot as balls here in Washington, but it was a good day. Lord Slug here says, if Ben comes back for Batgirl, then we should start wondering. He won't come back for Batgirl. It's just two different universes. That won't happen. That won't happen at all. Are we going to get another Red Pill night? Yeah. Jess, we'll do another Red Pill and anime. I don't want to do it all the time. Like I should say like maybe like every other month, maybe once a month, depending if there's nothing really going on. It was a lot of pain in my ass to deal with the copyright claims on that, which is why it was down for as long as it was down for, because I clipped out what they wanted me to clip out and then more got added to the mix. So it's like, okay, I have to like clip that shit out. And it just got to be kind of frustrating. So, But that being said, I had a good time watching it. I had a lot of fun doing that stuff. I know there's been requests for like 90s action movies trailer night. We'll have to do that too. That might be something that we do I don't ever want to like, when we do the Patreon stuff and we do like a watch party or whatever, that's one thing. I'm okay with that. But what I don't want to do is like, restrict like trailer nights or whatever. I feel that's open for everyone. We have a lot of fun watching those. We'll get a panel and things like this. So Eric here says, I'm surprised with them doing reshoots for Aquaman, and we know Amber Heard isn't in much of the film. Why not just replace her with someone like Blake Lively? Just my thoughts. Well, Amber apparently, according to test screening news from a little over a month and a half ago, she's in it for about 20 to 25 minutes. So obviously she'll be in it. Like that's a pretty big chunk. Not the whole thing, but that's still a pretty big chunk. Kim here says, you gonna react? Yeah, I'm gonna watch. I've been so fucking busy. I've been so fucking busy, man. That's what it boils down to. I've just been really busy. Let's see. Rational here says, will Born Again be a sequel to Daredevil season 3? And will the tone and cinematography be the same? I hope so. I don't know. All I can do is hope so. All I can do is like hope that they understand that shit. Bring back the hotline number. I still have the hotline number. I still have it. Let's see. Command unit here for $5. Says it's becoming more expensive to give you 100 with inflation. I can. Oh, buddy, I can feel that tick tock, right? Tick, 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 tick. I feel it, man. All right. I'll tell you this though, dude. I'll tell you this. I'll watch it, but I'm not going to do like individual video reviews. All right. Maybe like halfway through I can give you an update, but I'm not going to watch 2.5 minutes, 5-minute review. I'm not going to do that, but I can watch it and give you my thoughts on it. Something along those lines, but thank you. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Rodney says, are we sure we can trust Marvel with 18 episodes and they haven't been able to handle 6 so far outside of Loki? I mean, because the thing is that they've been trying to race to the finish line with those other shows. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to race to the finish line with those shows. This one, they're not racing to the finish line because as far as we can understand it right now, that's kind of its own standalone thing. I mean, it will tie into the larger universe, obviously, or the street level heroes with Spider-Man, but it's not going to be something that's going to like the multiverse is going to hinge on. So they're going to have the ability to do that. I think we're going to be okay. Eric here asks, are you excited for Rings of Power? I love the most recent trailer. I know a certain fandom has gone down the woke rabbit hole with it. I am actually very excited for the Rings of Power. I don't think I'm gonna like review it though. I'm gonna watch it, but I might talk about it here. But I maybe if it's that good, I'll do a review stream or something. The amount of shit that's already being levied at that show is so toxic in my mind, and that's the best word for it. That it makes it very difficult to actually like want to like give much of a fuck about it. You know what I mean? In regards of like putting out my opinion on social media, I might do it on TikTok because I can. TikTok is a much more positive place for movie talk. I'm not even making that up. I wish I was. TikTok is actually a more positive place for movie talk because it's not as infected by those people because they can't monetize it yet. Firesonic here asks, why would Disney raise their prices post Hulu merge after seeing the backlash against Netflix when they raised their prices, especially considering the state Netflix is in right now? Because Bob Chapek. That's why. They're going to raise their prices to justify it. Because if you spend right now I spend $13 a month to get ad-free Hulu, right? So, and I pay $8 a month for Disney Plus. I pay more for ad-free Hulu, and I really only watch it for Bob's Burgers. By the way, I've now seen the movie like at least probably 15 times, and I fucking love it. Still major plot hole, but I still love it. But that's what I'm going to do it there. All right. Daniel here says, I didn't get Grace's reaction to this Marilyn Monroe movie. I guess mischaracterizing history was where she was going. I don't know. I haven't seen the trailer. I'll definitely give it a watch. But I'm not a big fan of rape scenes, to be honest with you. Anthony here says, do you think Beverly Hills Cop 4 is still happening on Netflix? Yes. I think it goes into production quite soon, actually. And my thoughts on the Beverly Hills Cop franchise. It's amazing. I still love the Axel Foley theme song. Doom 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 It's one of the best. It's so simple yet so iconic, and it never gets brought up anymore, man. But like, if they play that shit in the theaters, I will totally go see that, because I actually begged my mom to take me to go see Beverly Hills Cop 3 in theaters. That is how big of a fan I was as a kid. I think they came out like, what, 93? I was like not even 11 yet, maybe, or I had just turned 11. And I asked her to take, and I begged her to take me to go see it. But before watching it, I rewatched 1 and 2 a couple times. So yeah, I've been watching Beverly Hills Cop movies since I was like literally like 10. Because I love them. Hobby, you're asked, do you think Ezra has cameos in Contract? That won't happen? Yes, I do. Will we ever see Daredevil in a movie again? 100%. 100%. They are not rebuilding up Daredevil in the level that they are building up Daredevil to not give us that in a movie. Raya here says, Rings of Power. Yeah, sorry that you got totally attacked by that. If you want, I can send you a Google document that was sent to me by CZ's World. He's a million sub channel, talks about movies, when he uses footage that he sends off to the studios to get them to release the claim. If you want, I can forward that off to you. It might be able to help you out. Fritz here with a big oof. Madam Web will be a masterpiece. I don't know, buddy. I don't know. Rodney here, but this is probably going to be the question of the night, and it follows into Geek's question right below it. House of the Dragon or Rings of Power, which do you think will be better? Well, here's the thing. I have an emotional connection to Lord of the Rings, and I have an emotional connection to Game of Thrones. But I don't know much about the Second Age, or even about the appendices that they're going to be pulling from with the Rings of Power. So I'm going in relatively blind as a fan, because I know the predominance of what we've known for, like, the animated movies, the live action movies, and things like that. So for me, it's like, okay, cool. There's obviously going to be some new stuff there that I can enjoy. House of the Dragon is a prequel to one of my all-time favorite shows. And even again, I'm still a season 8 defender. And so I really want to see what they do with it. Obviously, it's going to have lots of violence and sex and nudity, things like that. They're going to tone down a lot of like the raping, I think. But there's going to be a lot of violence in it. And it looks pretty fucking epic, that last trailer. Dude, I think my dad said there's like 17 dragons in the show, right? Like, I was talking to my dad about it last night, because he's a huge Game of Thrones fan. And he's like, yeah, there were 3 dragons in the first series, and this one's going to have 17 dragons. And he's like, I'm in it for the dragons, man. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I might have to go down to his house and watch it. Okay, you can watch the Hell's Reach as a 2.5 hour long movie, but okay, buddy. Thank you, Command Unit. I will definitely do that. All right. Mama Steve here says, do you think they reboot the DCEU, or will just keep it the way it is and recast or bring back? You know what? At this point, I think the smartest move. All right. And I'm being honest here. I keep saying, and in my hyperbolic sense of saying it, I keep saying that in reality, it would be one thing to, like, in my perfect world, scratching it all, except for the Batman, and focusing on animation would be the right course of action, right? I say that. However, the other side of that, though, is like, if they were to do it, if they were to figure it out, I love the Batman. I do. I thought it was great. I love Joker. I thought it was great. But I want Affleck. I want Affleck. I'm not going to lie about that. I absolutely want Affleck. So I would like to see them figure out a way to kind of make it work, where they can keep things going. I will say, though, and this is going to definitely be a thing I'm going to get probably some shit for, recast Cyborg, get rid of Ray Fisher. He's just at this point, like, and I don't mean that like as a dig at his character. What I mean is he's so toxic and so tainted that it's just a bad call with him, right? That's the thing with that. Anthony here asks, what are your thoughts on Olympus Has Fallen, London Has Fallen, and Angel Has Fallen? So I have now completed the Has Fallen trilogy. I rewatched all of them. Olympus is still my favorite. London felt like I was watching a video game. It also felt like I was watching, like, if that, remember at the same time in 2013 when White House Down came out around the same time as Olympus Has Fallen and everything. I feel like London Has Fallen was like their take on White House Down, because it was like Mike Banning with the president and like fighting their way through like the terrorists in London. It was a lot of fun. And then I really enjoyed Angel Has Fallen, even though it was definitely a lower budgeted movie at $40 million. But what I liked about Angel Has Fallen was that it felt like The Fugitive, right? It really kind of felt like they had like honed it in. They kind of tightened it up a little bit. Morgan Freeman was great. Gerard Butler, kind of a fat Gerard Butler, but still good Gerard Butler. Good action in the movie. And I really enjoyed it. And apparently they've got like, I think like 3 or 6 more movies planned. So I am like, I am down for that. I really love those. Have I watched the DC animated universe movies yet? Start with Justice League War. I've seen a few of them, but like not like tied up or whatever. Not like in order. So if there's a watch order, just let me know on Discord and everything else. Actually, before I forget, I think there's a link for the Discord in the video description. It should still be active. If not, let me know. I'll add the new one in there. But join the Discord, guys. Check it out. A lot of great people in there. Things like this. Marvin the Martian says those Geeks and Gamers personnel need to be held accountable. I read the rewriting Ripley article today. I already know everything that's in there. You have to understand. I already know everything that's going on in that particular article. I'm fully aware of it. When they mention Gamergate, I'm like, I live that shit. All right. However, I'm torn on the final phrase of that because they're actively now calling for deplatforming, and that's like, in their mind, they think that is how these people are going to be held accountable. I don't know what's going to happen if that actually succeeds. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm not 100%. I'm not for it really. I would love it if they would just stop being shitbags, but it's like eventually they're going to go too far, and private companies are going to enact their own policies. They're going to back up their own policies, and when that happens, that's what happens. So I don't know. But anyway, Giovanni here asks, what's your predictions on Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon? A masterpiece phenomenon like the cult keeps hyping it up, or will it just be Zack Snyder's Jupiter Ascending? Listen, it doesn't have Channing Tatum with dog ears, okay? And like, was it Eddie Redmayne overacting every scene he was in? Although I haven't watched it in 7 years. Maybe I need to give it another watch, right? However, I think Rebel Moon is going to be fine. I'm hoping that the script is a bit more fleshed out than, let's say, Army of the Dead was. I felt that the Army of the Dead was a fine movie. I didn't care for the cinematography, surprisingly. Like, I thought Zach was really overusing that dream lens. I hope he tones it back with this one and everything else. But I'm excited to see it. I think based upon the artwork that I've seen and some of the visuals that's come out, it looks pretty good. And it's going to be a take on Star Wars. And you know what? We need some more original science fiction IPs. We do. We absolutely do. I'm okay with that one there. Let's see here. Do I want Hangover 4? No, actually, I don't. I love Hangover 1, 2, and 3, but I don't want 4. I don't want them. We don't need it. We don't. So... Wait, hold on. Eric here says, what happened? I don't know what happened. What happened? Let me know. I didn't see that one. All right. Let's see here. Benson for £2. Thanks, buddy. Or €2. I don't know. What is it? Is it euros? I think it's pounds, right? Do you agree with Campia that Feige will move to Warner Brothers? No. No. All right. Let me fucking break down. Let me break down why Feige won't move over to Warner Brothers. Because he doesn't fucking need to. All right? Like, he doesn't need to. Feige, if anything, will most likely start his like own production company, maybe get a production deal with Disney or whomever, and get to do whatever the fuck it is he wants to do. Or, and this is the more likely solution, when the time comes, right? When the time finally comes in order to have either Kathy step down or Feige step down, what I could see happening is Disney spinning off Star Wars into its own vertical from Lucasfilm, right? And then having Feige take over Star Wars Studios and then definitely like take over that and build that up. Because I think at the end of the day, Star Wars is his first love, which is why that is where he's going to go. I think he's absolutely going to go there. Not leave and go to Warner Brothers. I think he might threaten it. I mean, because look, RJ here says, you can't see Feige ever moving on from Marvel, especially if Chapek continues to mess with them. Is Chapek messing with them, though? I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, with the 2-hour limit on fucking Thor: Love and Thunder, and maybe even like Doctor Strange, I get that. But the movie still did pretty good, and they're now figuring things out, and fans are feeling better about it. So I don't necessarily see it doing all that kind of stuff. I disagree. Anthony here says Kevin Feige will go to Warner Brothers. He won't. He'll go to Star Wars. They'll absolutely shift over to fucking, they might keep Kathy running Lucasfilm as a company and like overseeing like ILM and Skywalker Sound and things like that, or Lucasfilm Games, or whatever the fuck it is. Have a business person run that, and then have Feige, the creative producer, run Star Wars as a vertical, and make it its own thing. And having everything under Feige on that front without having to pussyfoot around it would be fucking fantastic. Chapek messed with ScarJo and Feige was pissed off. Sure. I mean, but they didn't publicly come out with that kind of stuff. Right. But we know, we know that, but that was Chapek being Chapek. Like Feige's not dumb. He's going to play the game. So there's that one over here. Ryan. Okay. Marvin the Martian here says Ryan Kennel made a crazy joke about George Floyd on his Twitter video. That's what I meant by geeks and gamers need to be held accountable. The thing is, they love that joke. They love the fact that they said that joke. They absolutely love that he made that joke and that he played it up and everything else, because they want people to be mad at them, because that's the whole thing. That's how they grow. They grow by getting everyone to talk about them, and then shitbags find them and then want to be part of it. It's like this. It's like if they were removed from the case for deplatforming that I believe Rewriting Ripley was trying to make was they used Milo Yiannopoulos as an example. Milo was fluent on Twitter, and he had about 100,000. He had 100,000 people following him. He was verified, I believe. But then he did go after Leslie Jones on Twitter, and then apparently behind the scenes as well. And Twitter decided to yeet him. When they yeeted him, he lost all of his influence, right? He lost most of his influence. He was able to move a little bit for a while. He did he called it the Dangerous F-Slur, the real word, tour that he, went around to the summer of 2016 with and whatever. And he was being hyped up by Breitbart and everything else. But then after that, he flew too close to the sun, if you will, and he failed. And now he's like literally apparently a born again Christian, renounced his homosexuality, which nobody believes, and is like, shilling Christian based. I don't know what the fuck it is. Okay. If you remove these guys' primary place of influence, they're not going to recruit new people. Okay. Like Alex Jones is deplatformed everywhere. InfoWars is still doing okay because he sells vitamin supplements. You're never going to get rid of Alex Jones. That is, unless the Sandy Hook stuff ends up really biting him in the ass, which it might. But really, like, let's say hypothetically, YouTube comes in, deplatforms Nerdrotic, right? Nerdrotic, 500,000 subs. That's going to blow up. That's going to be everywhere. Everyone's going to be talking about it. He's going to make all this money in financing, all this money in donations, all this money and everything else. Then he'll go over and work for Alex Jones, being a culture critic over at Alex Jones. Who knows how long that would last, right? But if they remove him from YouTube, where he can't reach new people, and InfoWars isn't reaching new people, that will eventually come to a head, right? You're gonna stagnate. You're gonna plateau. Same goes for anybody else who works within that particular community. Other alternative tech platforms: Gab, BitChute, Rumble, Cozy, Minds, whatever. Okay, they all exist. They have people that are there. They aren't necessarily growing. I would say actually probably one of the only ones is Odyssey. They're doing okay. But you have like DLive, but they're infected with a lot of these like white nationalist, refugee types, right? These whatever. I don't want to call them a refugee. I think that gives them a positive spin. Okay. But these like shunned individuals are over there, and they end up having their thing. Anyway, we'll have to wait and see. Again, I don't know what's going to happen. We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, yeah. Rational here says Blip.tv, which became, I remember Blip. Daily Motion, yeah. Daily Motion's still around, but like no one uses it though, right? Like no one uses it. It's so weird. But all right, gang, I believe we have hit the end of the road because it's almost 11:30 here, and I have got to use the bathroom. But what we can do to end us out, we're going to watch this Orc Power Troubles Warhammer bit. This is what Command Unit had asked us to check out real quick, and then he also linked me to the Hell's Reach movie, which I need to watch. And we'll do this, but we'll be back on tomorrow night. By the way, guys, if you guys haven't already, check out, I'll just drop this in the chat real quick. You can go to youtube.com, Hollywood After Dark. That is the archive channel. Be sure to check it out there. The archive for this will be there as well. Recent episodes are there as well. And I'll talk to you folks later. Have yourself a great day, and thank you for coming by.
No, this is the worst time for this to happen.
Did your batteries run out again?
No, maybe. You don't need to know that.
That's certainly an interesting thing to have seen. Hi, what exactly was that?
It appeared to be some kind of walk-point creature. Yes, they're well known for their ability to be very loud and angry and punch you.
Oh, excellent! I had not seen one of them before, only read about them in my various texts. Please stand aside, I wish to take a closer look.
Yeah, sure, you do that.
Are you just still like hitting your power sword?
Yeah, I'm trying to fix it.
Yeah, give me a tech roll.
Nice.
Brain, your attempts to hit your power sword back into life yield no results yet.
I walk up to Lauren.
Lauren,
Yes?
you are my only friend. I need you to shoot this with electricity.
Sure, I'll help with that. Let's check. There's a complication.
Holy shit.
Damn, dude, you turned that power sword into a 5G tower. Now we're all gonna die.
Brain is now desperately breaking open crates trying to find batteries.
Yeah, absolutely. You start cracking open cases in.
I don't play D&D, so this is largely lost on me.
Drained las guns? They've been out here long enough that their power packs are just dead.
Yes.
I'm going to look at these light fixtures.
I must.
And I'm just gonna start breaking them. And trying to get whatever powers.
I was about to say, are you breaking them with a purpose, or are you just really angry and are like, fuck you, light, fuck you?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both.
There are times that I do not speak as captain. This is one of those times where I would wish that we are not destroying this settlement that we are supposed to save. Now, would you please stop planting demolition charges on walls and breaking their lights?
The machine spirits are angry. They are punishing me for failing to obtain points. The motive force rebels against my grip. And you want me to stop breaking lamps? It's the only thing I
No,
have.
Brain, the machine spirit is not angry. You are mad.
Hey there, head voices. Keep it down.
Hey, fuck you! We're trying to find power over here. Now keep trying that lamp.
All right.
Okay. Thank you for that command unit. I don't know, man. Like, that's the thing. All right. I mean, look, I have never played D&D. So like I said, all that is lost on me. But it is dumb humor. I get it. It's just not for me. That's okay, though. All right, everybody. Have yourself a great evening. Go off. Cause havoc. Wreak chaos. Love you lots. Bye.